Ya.
Oke, angkat mic ya.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Where are you dialing in from? Are you in London?
London. I'm in London. Yeah.
We are ready to start on time, but we are probably waiting for a couple of more minutes until people are settling down, probably after their quick lunch. There's a couple of people already, and we are going to start. So what I'm going to share to you today is more about how personal branding has helped me and how to avoid the mistakes that I've made, because the biggest mistake is actually to not do it at all. And it's so, oh, there's another one coming in. That's absolutely fine for those of you who are turning off their camera or only on chat mode only. It's absolutely fine. If you want to ask questions, you can also put on the chat. I have my colleague here as well that will take note of what you are asking about. So if you want to just chill and have your coffee while listening to the content, is absolutely fine as well. Now, because it's only 30 minutes and because I appreciate everyone's time, I will just dive right in. So today we're going to talk about how to unlock your personal brand to get more money this year. Why did I say to get more money this year? Is because our situation is so unique. You can either want to get a better job, or you want to stay in the same company, but in a different position, different department, or you want a career switch to a more lucrative industry, or you want to keep your career as it is, but you want to branch out to your side hustle, or you are now an entrepreneur and you want to land better type of client. And when I say better type, maybe not necessarily at a different price point, but client that is not going to give you a headache. And because you don't have headache, you have more bandwidth to get an extra client. Or you can chill and you don't have to pay childcare and you can take care of your own kids if that is what you want. So basically, your personal brand will help you get to where you want to be. And as context, just so I know that most of you here today are connected with me on LinkedIn. So you probably have seen my post one way or the other, but to give you just a little bit of context of who I am, or rather who I was. So back pre-pandemic, I am an Indonesian living in Indonesia, and I had a 5-star cushy job, very much at the corporate ladder, and I was in and out, or off and on rather, red carpets. But then when COVID hits, this is absolutely, it sounds like everyone's story is like blah, blah, blah. And then COVID hit. So it happened to me too. I had to move to where my husband is from, which is England. But unlike what many people think, even when you're married to a British person already for a decade, it doesn't necessarily mean you can even enter the country without a visa. So what happened was I had to wait for 13 long months. That picture is actually a photo, a DIY photo to apply for my visa, that I did it in the living room. And the reason is because the home office was shut down because of lockdown, and they allowed us to submit a DIY. And literally what they said in the letter is DIY selfie. This is for the first time probably any government would use the term selfie in their official communications channel. So 13 months without any social capital, meaning that I had no network. I literally knew nobody other than my 80-year-old in-law who is absolutely not, the type of leverage that you have in terms of social network. And after 13 months of waiting for my visa, I finally got it in June 2021. And as you can imagine, it was only, actually it's July 2021. So for 13 months, I could not do anything. I could not apply for a job. I could not even volunteer because the rule is, as a tourist, you can only volunteer for up to 30 days in the UK. So having a 13 months career gap is very, very debilitating and anxiety inducing. But in 2022, I decided then to build my own company called Upgrading Women. Now, the company, I had the logo, the look, the website and everything. And even after I built my own company, which is a communications training company, I still hid behind the brand of the company. So everywhere I go, it's I give a brochure of my company. I don't introduce who I am, what my interests, values, opinions, and everything. So I just hide behind a company. And it was so crazy as well. If only you could see the website of my company in 2022, the entire homepage, you will never even see my face on it, because in my mind, there's only a company brand. Personal brand is only for the influencers. And boy, oh boy, I was wrong. In 2022, I was proven so wrong that I only build the Instagram of my company. I only pay attention to the LinkedIn page of my company, not about me at all. And it resulted with my company not doing so well at all. We were at a loss. And this is what I've learned in 2023 to actually practice what I preach, which means, hey, actually, people only want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And I, with my own self, imposter syndrome, negative talk, biases, I thought people wouldn't want to work with me. And therefore, I hide behind the brand of the company that I work for or the company that I own. But that was a mistake. Again, as soon as people know who Rebecca Leppard is and my values and my promises, as in, if you hire me, you know that I will deliver, if not over deliver. You will see me come not only on time, but in time. If you don't give me a brief, I will ask you as many detailed questions as possible, because I want to deliver up to your expectations and more. So in 2023, within a couple of months after I start paying attention to my personal brand, I started posting on my Instagram. I started tidying up my LinkedIn page. I got invited to so many stages, and this picture collage happened within 1 week only. This is between 1st to 8th of March, all 3 events, all me wearing pink, which is part of my personal brand. So what I have learned is that these things that you already have, all of you here have, the CV, the degree, the great looks, good behavior, that you're hardworking, team player, etc. It's not enough. It used to be enough back in the 90s and early 2000, because here's the thing, deals happen outside the formal channel all the time. We know that there's a hidden job market. We know that there's a lot of position that is open but not advertised yet, because a lot of recruiters or even the hiring manager would like to pre-vet the candidate first from their first or second degree network before going out and advertise. And it's not uncommon, because again, the principle is, if I already know someone and like someone and trust someone to do the job, why do I need to bother going through all that taxing recruitment process plus the cost? So it goes both ways. We as the hunter, whether for a job, project, or client, we as the hunter, we hate that process, that formality. And the other way, the client, the employer, they also hate the long and arduous process. So it actually work for both supply and demand, for us to actually show up at the quote unquote marketplace ready for when the supply is like up for the task or the job or the project, and for the demand or the client side is ready to hire. Okay. And this is super recent, like only a few days ago, it says that women executive should be playing golf. So this is what a misogynist way of thinking. We as women are being accused for not doing enough networking, and therefore not getting the promotion that we deserve, not getting the deals that we have capacity for, just because we're not playing golf enough. Well, if we want to be empowered, it means we take over that quote unquote golf playing into building our personal brand. So I would suggest that forget the golf course, make social presence or online presence as our golf course. And this is how we network. Forget the golf balls and the nutters who play that. That is to say, if you do like playing golf, go for it. Okay, so all that said is to say that we need the extra mile these days, because our competition is now literally global. Wherever we are, we're competing with fellow ambitious men and women out there ready to get our job, get our client. And to me, it's not even a price or salary war anymore, because still the client and employers, they know they want to get the quality. So now imagine if you and your competition have the same capacity, same price range, or same salary expectation, but only one of you that has all of these presents, the at least tidy, if not bulletproof LinkedIn profile, the case study that showcase really what you have done for your former employer or former client, how you have done it, and what it brings result for your employer or your client. And also, having great looks these days is not enough until you are also camera ready, camera confident. What does that mean? Again, you are to be expected to speak in public, at the very least on a webinar, on a networking event. So that is something that you have to keep honing, and that is how your personal brand will shine. And good behavior is not enough anymore. You need to have good collaborations. People talk about people's experience. We know the quote from Maya Angelou saying that people remember how you made them feel. So the way you interact and collaborate whenever there's an opportunity, the way that you, how fast you respond to emails, messages, and how professional you are with your communications, if there's any typo. Of course, you're not expected to be 100% perfect all the time, but the fact that you have open and honest conversation, you don't ghost other people, you give more than you ask, you show up, and you have a sense of belonging of the project that you're collaborating with. It's not just like, okay, I'll show up and show my face and that's it. But you also, for example, co-promote if you are, if you attend the same, or if you're speaking in the same panel, etc. So a good collaboration will go far, because the word of mouth is the key. Really, what personal brand comes down to is what people are talking about you behind your back. So you control the narrative. If you show up, right, you have cool LinkedIn profile, you have a case study, you're confident, etc. But then if you don't have a good collaboration experience, then it will also go down the drain. And last but not least, your vibe and value is definitely something that is these days indexed more than whether or not you're hardworking, whether or not you work 24/7, whether or not you are you show up in the beer and pizza night. So your vibe and your value about how you appreciate other people, how you're being inclusive, that is definitely what people appreciate more. And that is not to say to not be authentic and always, good vibe or positive vibe only. You are allowed to dissent. You are allowed to voice your polarized opinion. And I would even go as far to say you are allowed to swear, even if it makes your point. But what you're not, quote unquote, allowed to is to be a rock star that is not, be a toxic rock star. That's what I mean. I would not agree with anyone that is like, hey, I'm a rock star, I'm allowed to be toxic. Absolutely no place for that. So that is where, all to say, personal branding comes in. So definitely, if you imagine yourself, you are a freelancer and you have a strong personal brand that showcase your skill and experience, potential client will be more likely to trust you and hire you. And an example, if you're a hypnotherapist and your personal brand can focus on your unique therapy style, philosophy, and approach. Some hypnotherapists is more woo-woo and some hypnotherapists are more science-backed. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but again, it will attract who you want to attract. And to create a strong connection with your audience, for example, let's say you are an accountant or a mortgage advisor, professions that is less likely to be, the influencer type, but you can use your personal brand to show your own, let's say, house hunting journey, challenges and successes, or like the crazy bookkeeping disaster you have ever handled for your client. This will help you connect with your audience because it shows that you know their pain. And knowing the pain shows that you can empathize with your potential client. Also, it can boost your reputation. For example, if you have imposter syndrome, like me, seeing how people interact positively with your post, just a little thumb, just a little comment that says, good job, Rebecca, that will give you a bit of a stamp of approval. And even if someone is debating your opinion online and you're responding with grace, your response will be seen by others and they can judge your standing right away. And lastly, building a long-term relationship is a part of a good personal brand. It's like a result of your personal brand. So we know how bad we are in catching up with friends and colleagues, and then we feel even worse when we need to ask for a favor. But fostering engagement on social media will bridge that gap. You'll be top of mind when they need someone to help, or when they need help from someone and you show up, you can actually build up like a favor equity that you can cash in later without feeling bad. And this is what a good relationship is. Yes, it's not like, tit for tat, but yeah, of course, if I scratch your back one time, you will scratch your back next time. And also B, it's nice when you see your old colleague or your junior rising up in their career and you congratulate them. You send them a DM or you congratulate on the feed. And maybe they thank you for your mentorship and things of that nature. It really feels nice. So that is a very, very good side effect of personal brand. And I often say in the past minutes how LinkedIn is a good platform is definitely because it has over 700 million members in over 200 countries. So, and people show up in a professional headspace. So there is less likely that the communications over there is going to be toxic. So there's the least likely that you will be body shame or slut shame or whatever it is, because everyone show up on LinkedIn with a thinking cap and their professional hat on. And here are the 5 features on LinkedIn that are underutilized. One is the header. You want to put at least one sentence about who you are or what you do, or even either your passion or your value, basically what you want people to know about you. It can also be your latest offer, because for someone who just visited your profile and didn't know about you, at the very least, you can put that you are either looking for a new opportunity or something of that nature. Service page, if you have a side hustle or if you are a business person, the service page is underutilized. And asking for a recommendation is also people too shy to ask for a recommendation. But to be honest with you, if people ask me for a recommendation, I'll be so happy that people even think of me to ask for a recommendation. The feature post section is also underutilized, and a genuine DM. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have enough time to share with all of you with the, what do you call it? The details of, here, I'll show you all the details that I can go through with you line by line, but sadly we don't have the time. But I'm just going to give you the best practice on highlighting your personal brand on LinkedIn. Is you can post up to 5 posts per week. So the minimum is 24 hours apart, because LinkedIn is a slow burn type of platform. And you also need to remember that every platform's agenda in their algorithm is to lure users to stay for as long as possible. So post things that encourage people to read through, be it a raw personal story or something educational. The platform will love it. And what the platform doesn't like is when you put link on the post, because it will take you away. So here's my cheat sheet on where I put link to either your offer or your podcast or what have you. It's either put on a comment, publish a single image and hyperlink it like this, or put a QR code, because actually 65% of LinkedIn users use it on their desktop, so they can pull up their phone and scan it. And also you put your link on your bio. So because I have many offers in my business, I put a link tree. So one link, and then it opens up to all of my various things on there. And what do I need to write, Rebecca? That's the next natural question. Use this rule of third. Post a promotional stuff about yourself, your business, and post educational stuff about what you are very good at, what you're interested in, and industry trend, for example, and post as well a personal story. Where have you been? Where's your journey? If you've been to an event, you've been promoted, everything that is about your personal life as much as you want to tell them. These are examples of the content pillar. Choose 3 of them and stick with it. And if you are selling something, don't leave them hanging. Include a good call to action at the end of your post, just like these. In addition to all of that, this is what I do that you could also do. Definitely engage, spend at least an hour a day writing engaging comment on other people's posts, because it's a social platform. It's not just about you. And also I spend up to 6 hours weekly on networking, events in person or webinars and meetings. And I contribute to LinkedIn crowdsourced article once a week. And I also contribute to journalist request. That's a whole other PR effort, but definitely worth your while. And I also reply to almost all of people's comments on my post and my DM as well. And lastly, of course, I always put my hand up for every opportunity, and it can look very differently on every turn. It can be coming on as a podcast guest or a short-term freelance and so on. So just put your hand up there. And again, don't be shy. And I know it's a lot of work, but there's only 10% of you here or in general who's willing to do it. And guess who will be ahead in their career and in their business? And for those who are in a position to outsource their personal branding work, my company does that for them. And if I may plug a little bit, these are what I do for them. I audit their current LinkedIn page, and I will create a done for you headshot, banner, and the About Me bio section. And what I do for my clients as well is a detailed content calendar that they can literally just copy and paste. And I give them daily prompt engagement reminders. So, hey, have you open your LinkedIn today? Don't leave it just collecting dust. And also I provide a DM sequence for lead generation. Like if like the first hello, and then if they respond, what do you say? You can just copy and paste and tweak it a little bit, of course, because it's not robotic. That's what I do for my client. And I'm not the only person who has personal branding agencies like this. Other people do that, and they charge up to £4,000 or £5,000 a month. I don't charge that high, but it is up to that high in the UK market. What does that say to you, though? It means it's a real thing. It has become a commodity. It is seen as a necessity. And because it's seen as a necessity, it tells you that it works. And I'm sure you can do it yourself. You don't have to hire a whole personal branding agency to do it for you. And if you need more help, because again, there's only half an hour and I'm speeding through my slides. These are my offer to you. If you do need help if you're saying to me, Rebecca, I can do it myself, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. So this is my offer to you, a 90-minute working session. So it's a working session. It's not just a webinar. So there's a Q&A. There's literally, I can audit your LinkedIn page on the spot. It's I call it a ChatGPT and personal branding strategy session because yes, after I help you identify your brand purpose, etc., and how to select your presence, because it may not be LinkedIn, it may be Pinterest, it may be Instagram, or even TikTok. At the end, I will also help you literally how to use ChatGPT in optimizing your content. It will be done in seconds, as you have seen before, but I'll teach you how to provide prompts that will let ChatGPT produce content using your own tone of voice. Okay, so this is a very step-by-step class so you can do it yourself without hiring expensive agencies. People who hire me, they pay $2,000 a month to do this all for them for a monthly content, but you can access my course if you scan this or the link that is going to be provided by my colleague on the chat. You can immediately access the class only at £47 because you automatically get £100 off. And I have only opened this only for 5 of you. So as soon as there's 5 who join, the price will be the discount will be already finished. So this £100 off is only for the 5 of you. So I have now gone 1 minute over time. If you do have a pressing question, you know my DM is always open on LinkedIn. And I'm also going to give you my email address here on the chat in case you would like to connect with me via email, but definitely my DM is always open. And I would like to thank you very much. I'm so sorry that there's not enough time for Q&A, but again, you can always ask me offline, and I'll see you in the next opportunity for our class. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending. Bye for now.